So the planet Mars is on the move. What the heck does that mean?
Yes, you may have noticed if you've looked up at the sky the last couple of nights, this little glowing evil red eye in the sky. Well, that's the planet Mars. And it's a planet of ego-oriented projection. And it's been moving backwards since the middle of April. But it's been in the sign of Sagittarius. But now, this week, it goes back into the sign of Scorpio. So the reason I mention this is stuff that you thought was resolved in February and early March. You find out, guess what, it wasn't resolved. And you get another bite of that apple between now and the end of June. So I thought I would tell people where they can expect to see grief and aggravation and thwarted ego drives for all of the signs. For Gemini, it's in their sixth house of work and responsibilities. So there are issues going on with work that they thought they dealt with in February and March, and also health issues perhaps that they thought they had already dealt with, and they find out, no, they have more dealings to do with them. So, yeah, I know, it's crummy. For Cancers, really not a bad place. It says do fun things over again. And this is where Cancers, you're trying to take either a child or a child of their mind, something they've given birth to, and to bring life to it in a creative fashion. And so they thought that they were done with that in February, and they get to polish it up and redo it. So take the next 30 days to really put a nice shine on that particular apple. For Leos, home, foundations, these are... For Leos, this is 22 months ago, they dealt with an issue at home. They have to deal with that same issue again, and it's going to irritate them. I'm not going to lie, because Scorpio squares Leo. And so, again, they need to look to the February and March time span to see the origins of the problem. And if they do that, then they'll be able to deal more effectively with it. But the big thing is, don't act until you have more information. Probably better to wait till the end of June before you actually act. For Virgo, it's in their third house of day-to-day living. The pace of their day-to-day living is going to pick up. And the hardest thing for Virgo not to do is backtrack, not to go over and do the same thing that they've done over again, because for Virgo, it's going to be February, it's going to be deja vu all over again for them. So for Libras, it's in their second house of money, and they are spending a ton of money. They have unanticipated expenses, and expenses also they thought they had dealt with adequately in February and March. And my thought is that they would almost had to deal with that, and now they find out that they do. So, and it's going to cost them, sadly, a bundle. For Scorpios, it's in their sign, and when Mars is in your sign, it's sort of like you're the Robert Conrad of the zodiac, saying, "Yeah, knock this off my shoulder," and they get very, very pugnacious, and they get very, very combative. And Scorpio, all I could say is, pick and choose your battles wisely, and make sure that you don't alienate what could be perfectly good allies with a scorched earth policy. For Sagittarians, I think this is the sign that's got to be the most careful, because Mars has been in their sign. They've been trying to make new starts, and now it's back into their 12th house, and they find that they are their own undoing. Their ego and their needs end up doing themselves in. So don't look around for secret enemies. Look in the mirror, because it's probably you, the Sagittarian. For Capricorns, long-standing hope, wish, goal, or objective. They are trying so hard to reach a long-standing goal or objective, and it's going to take the help of a group to make that happen, and some positive action on behalf of the group to bring the Capricorn what it is that they say that they want. For Aquarians, 10th house of career and public standing, and they have to be really careful, because they need to know they think they have the hammer professionally, but they really don't. And because they don't, they have to be really careful not to irritate the powers that be, because the powers that be usually have a very, very long memory, and Aquarians have a short memory, so they need to pay particularly attention to that and not shoot themselves in their own foot. For Pisces, it's in their 9th house of the law. Legal matters, educational matters, matters that they thought were put to rest last fall and again in February. They find out that it's not, and there's some kind of legal thing. And Pisces, in this case, you don't have the hammer, so you probably want to settle it. For Aries, it's about spending money. It's spending a boatload of money. And it's not on your things, it's on other people's resources. You're not trying to spend money on buying yourself nice stuff. It's a matter of fixing up other people's resources. For Taurus, the last sign is in the 7th house of partners, and they have to be really careful because everybody's going to be pointing a finger and yelling at the Taurus. And the Taurus hasn't done anything wrong. The Taurus has been trying as hard as they can. And out of all the signs of the zodiac, Taurus needs the break the most. So I say take them away for the weekend, have a good time with them is my best advice for that.
On my way.
And tell them not to take anything personally. So that's tomorrow's news today for the 12 signs of the zodiac.
Sounds great, I think.
I hope so.
See you next week.
Always a pleasure.